Mm, 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 mm. Guess who's back in the house? I hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. Today is Sunday, and I'm about to run a few errands. But before I go on those errands, I wanted to talk about something that has been weighing heavily on me. I discovered as of yesterday that one of my favorite YouTubers, his name is Tai Couture, and I think I discovered him because he had a lot of reaction videos to Drag Race. And shortly after discovering one of his videos, I actually started posting Drag Race videos with the boost of one of my favorite subscribers, Day the QT 3000. Shout out to him. And Ty was authentic, and he wasn't afraid to be himself, and I gravitated toward that. And there are very few YouTubers that I kind of like follow on a weekly or consistent basis. He had a salon, I believe, in New Jersey. Then he started an underwear line, and so he was successful outside of YouTube. But on YouTube, he had a huge following. He posted a number of videos about experiencing depression and suicidal thoughts. And he actually was in therapy. He had like a check-in system with family and friends so that he had to respond to them if they like called or texted him. He had, and if he did respond, he had to respond kind of like in like 5 minutes or something like that. And so he was doing everything that he needed to do to create a support system and to really go through a process of healing to get through whatever was causing his depression. And I just found out that maybe a month ago he actually took his own life because of the depression. His mother gave an interview after his death, and she said that he did not want to die, but he didn't know how to live. And one of the things that he wanted most in this life is to have children, and he couldn't have children. And so no one knows what those final moments were, but for all of you that are watching this video, if you have a friend who is experiencing suicidal thoughts, um, they're not the person that they used to be, that they don't take care of themselves as much, that they start giving away a lot of their possessions and belongings, that's a sign that they need the help of a mental health counselor. And I also wanted to talk about this because someone in my family is exhibiting signs that they need mental health counseling. And I was talking to my mother about it, and this person who's experiencing it, they said that the government has been spying on them. And my mother's response is that, oh, you know how the government is. And I said, no, like, this is a sign of mental health that, um, yes, people of color um, have their reasons to mistrust, distrust the government for different reasons. But for this particular instance, this person should have no reason to think that the government is spying on them. And it caused alarm because my best friend, who's a brilliant actor, um, can has the ability to transform himself and become any character that is presented in front of him, suffers from mental health issues. And his family never addressed it. He had early signs as a child that he was suffering from mental health issues, and his family chose to ignore it. And now that he's older, he lives on his own. His family has their way of dealing with it is to remove themselves from the picture, and because it's very difficult if you don't have the language to realize what is happening to a person. And I think some people are afraid of words like therapy, mental health, depression. And that reminded me that, you know, if I can do something with this particular relative, I will do that to see if they can get some type of therapy or counseling. I don't know if any of you saw, I watched Trevor Noah a lot. Actually, Roberto and I watched him. We saw him live in Tucson, and he was incredible. And he recently had a segment on mental health and the Black community, and how there's stigma surrounding mental health. And it has kind of it has never confused me why mental health is something, um, why more Black people in this country do not receive mental health. One, mistrust of medical facilities due to the Tuskegee Airmen study. Also, financial reasons. If you are a single parent, if you have two, three jobs, if you live in a big city like LA or Miami or New York City, and you just struggle to get through traffic, mental health isn't something that you can do, isn't something that you might be able to afford or make time for. And so that's really important to know within the Black community. And also, it's not a priority, I feel, as if in the medical community, specifically the mental health community, to actually reach out to African Americans. I don't see a lot of organizations trying to go to Black churches, trying to go to Black colleges and universities, try to partner with Black professional organizations to address mental health. And so within the Black community, we have to create our own mental health support systems. We have to recognize the signs of depression. We have to recognize the difference between someone not having a good day and someone who wants to self-harm. And so that is extremely important. And especially today, I feel like with social media, we are consumed with images of what it means to be successful. And I think that can have an impact on someone's mental health. Like if you go on Instagram or if you go on Facebook and you see everyone presenting this air of success or wealth, and you're struggling to get by, that can significantly impact your mental health. And so if you, someone has a question. Do you think it's okay for a person to abuse their spouse if it helps them to avoid suicide? No, of course not. Abuse of someone else is never okay. And if any of you are in a abusive relationship, get out. Every day I feel like there's a new headline about a wife goes missing and it's discovered that it's the boyfriend, the significant other, or the husband. So if you are in one of these relationships, please get out, because it can be deadly. Between love and your life, always choose your life. We only have one life, and we live in a world of extreme beauty. This is kind of like off topic, but there is so much to see in the world. I hope next to go to Africa sometime soon, if I can find a cheap ticket. But I love traveling, and I'll be in Canada in a few weeks. And so if you're in an abusive relationship, please get out. Value yourself and your life over someone else who is abusing you. But thank you for that question. But in the Black community, we don't talk enough about mental health. So if you're watching this video and you're a person who is Black, or if you identify as African American, and especially if you are in the LGBTQ plus community, you need to be in some type of support group. Surround yourself with people who will listen to you if you are having a difficult time, because I feel like to be a person of color in this country is difficult, because you have to deal with trauma. You have to deal with, I do believe in kind of like, DNA is passed down from parent to child, and we have this collective trauma as Black people that is very difficult to break down and describe to someone who doesn't share your experience. And so, and for my brothers and sisters out there who are in the trans community, the same thing as well. We need to seek out mental health. And luckily, I have had access to mental health services. And I think that it's something that we all need to do. You can go to your local LGBT center to seek out mental health services. And if they don't have it there, they can give you a referral. You can also go to smaller um, LGBT organizations and seek out referrals for mental health. There are services out there for you, and if you need them, please seek them out. It's unfortunate that we live in a very wealthy country, but we can't provide the basics for people in this country. And mental health is something that you need to feel whole. And my heart goes out to Tai Couture's family. His mother accepted him as he was, and that's something rare to see. Not rare, but um, it's something that you really don't see in the media. I will say that. I often hear about young Black LGBTQ individuals who are kicked out of their homes at an early age because of the way that they identify. And so he had, his mother also confided that she was suffering from depression while Ty was also suffering from depression. And so they were able to share that experience. And she saw him for the last 2 months of his life. They saw each other every single day. I believe he moved from New Jersey to Atlanta. And in New Jersey, he had a hair salon. He wasn't as passionate about hair artistry. And so he started losing clients. And he stopped the underwear line, and he stopped posting on YouTube. And so he decided to move back to Atlanta where his mother lives. And so he moved in with an aunt, and the aunt was a part of his support system. And it's just such a heartbreaking story. I try to tell all of my friends, I have like a really odd sense of humor. Um, and I can sometimes say things that might be a little shady. But I always tell my friends that I love them and I show them love. Um, and that's important to do. That, in your circle, really, you know, show your love and appreciation to your friends. And the same thing for your idols and people that you look up to. It was so sad going to Ty's YouTube channel, and there were people that were viewing his videos after his death and just leaving comments that they loved him and appreciated him. But I realized that, like, I have to tell people I love them now while I can. I'm not as really close to all of my family members as I would like to be. But a few weeks ago, I actually called some family members that I hadn't talked to in a very long time, um, just to, show them that, I love them and I care for them, even if, um, distance has come between us. And so, and the holidays are coming up, which can be an extremely emotional time for people in the community if they've been disowned or kicked out of their homes. And so I would love to see more Friendsgivings activities happening in the community. Because in the gay community, in the LGBT community, we really create family units. We pick our brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers. And so I think that's important to do. And so I have some errands to run. So I just want to come on really quickly and talk about that. But if you have any questions, I will try to leave links to suicide prevention telephone numbers in the comment section. But if you have any comments, please leave them in the comment section. And until next time, love everyone, especially yourself. Practice self-care because we live in a very troubling time. So take care of yourself and your friends and your family. Besos.